It's an enlightening experience to have Alistair Clarkson as our guest on the panel. Enjoyed it a lot. Mick Warner is the newest member of Talking Footy, and he's brought to the table a new segment. We call it Inside 50. Over to you, Mick.
Thanks, Darcy. It works like this. I'm going to fire off some questions at you guys. You've got 50 seconds to answer them. I'm going to start with you, Tim, but before then, I just want you to have a look at this grab from Jack Watts after the game on Saturday.
It's just pure relief. I had weeks where I didn't want to get out of bed, mate, and probably never ever experienced anything like that. I'll cop more from people saying that I'm no good at footy for 1,000 years compared to what I've been through the last few months. So
Played a great game at halfback. Has the penny finally dropped for Jack Watts?
Maybe it has. I think that he's a prodigious talent. We all know that. There's been a real question mark against his consistency over a long period of time. He was great at the weekend, playing him behind the ball in that position. If he can make that position his own, somebody like Jack Watts in the modern-day game is built for that. He can find plenty of ball. He's a great executor. He's a great decision maker. He's calm, he's cool, he's poised, all those things, OK? The question mark with Jack, and it's still unanswered for me, OK, as good as he was at the weekend, is for him to be able to back up week after week after week and produce the same effort. And still, we don't know the answer to that.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Can I just say the human side of that story I love? People have looked at Jack Watts, Mick, and thought he doesn't care about football. He's laissez-faire. You get to see what it means to him. He went through a horrible, self-inflicted wound. There's the siren, but I feel for Jack Watts.
Wayne, there's the news on Alex Rance. It was a very clean tear of the ACL. If you can have a good one, he's had it. Should Richmond and Alex Rance roll the dice and try to get back this year?
The one thing that you should always do is try to get back, and I think that's exactly how he'll approach it mentally and both physically. So I think he's having the operation today, it may have been, but he will try to get back. But if they're not 100% guaranteed, if there's any doubt whatsoever, then Alex Rance is too valuable to that footy club to try and play. But certainly for his mental state, he should be trying to get back. I think that's a good mental way to go into it, so yes.
Luke, have the Brisbane Lions showed other clubs the way to do a bona fide rebuild?
Yeah, I think you might be onto something there, Mick. Chris Fagan and his team have made great decisions. They've got really good people into the club, good people in management, which I like. Even the decision to get Luke Hodge, people thought that maybe didn't make a lot of sense. I think it's been an incredible move. They'll have a lot of ups and downs, Brisbane, but not a bad template to follow if you want to rebuild a club pretty quickly. And
on rebuilds, back to you, Wayne. St Kilda have said they have to rebuild Daniel Hannebery, whatever that means. Is this shaping as a bust?
Look, interesting word, rebuild, but clearly his body is absolutely shot. And it's been shot since the grand final a couple of years ago. And he's been, I think both the Swans tried to play him when he wasn't 100% fit, therefore he never really got his body to 100%. Clearly he's now got to the Saints. It's a 5-year deal, so this is a long-term deal. They have to now give him time to get his body right, and that's what they mean by the rebuild. There's not going to be 4 weeks, the first 4 or 5 weeks, let's get him to sort of 80% fit and then put him in. They're going to make sure that he's 100% fit, ready to go, and that may be halfway through the year. That may be put a line through him this year and make sure he's 100% next year. And if that's the case, they've got 4 more years of a 3-time All-Australian Premiership player.
Tim, another one for you, but just want you to have a listen to this from Matthew Lloyd.
I think the greatest 2 midfields I've seen in my time in football has been the West Coast midfield and also the Brisbane midfield, which won 3 flags. And I've got a graphic here where I want to show this Collingwood midfield going into 2019. I think this is arguably the deepest and best midfield the game has ever seen.
Does Collingwood currently possess the best midfield the game has ever seen?
I love Matthew Lloyd. Can I just say that at the beginning? OK, he used to throw grass up in the air. Now I think he's smoking. It's not a ridiculous statement because they have got a really deep midfield, but the Brisbane Lions midfield was better than the Collingwood midfield. Geelong's midfield took that midfield is the best midfield that he's ever seen to the cleaners on Friday night. The West Coast Eagles midfield beat them in the grand final last year. I'm not quite sure what the body of evidence is that supports his argument
To
right
be
now.
fair, I think he was saying that those teams, Brisbane and Eagles, had the bookends that Collingwood don't. But,
Okay.
Luke, one last one for you. Now, we've got some footage here. We know we love our Collingwood supporters,
Okay.
but does what we see here cancel out the other?
I don't know what to say about that. I think that's just that sums up the Collingwood supporter in one snapshot. It's great, isn't it? We almost need to see that again. It is brilliant. Time now for the Gillette Pro Glide defensive play of the day, brought to you by Gillette with flexible technology for your closest shave. And this week it goes to new cat Gary Rowan. I thought it was great duck on the weekend. Defensive pressure in the final few minutes when Friday night's win over Collingwood. This is what they got him to do, and he did it pretty well.
Yeah, spot on. And you saw it just a second ago. He's involved in a tackle, second, third efforts. His speed, that's what they've got him there for. And look, some of these rundowns, I mean, incredible. And I agree, he was a big contributor along with their debutants on Friday night.